WXCO 98.9, Wausau's real news and great conversation. Here's your Daily News Roundup.
For WXCO News, I'm Isabella Nieto. The Wisconsin Elections Commission on Monday resolved several complaints against a former local clerk. Bobby Burke Labarge is the former clerk for the village of Cronenwetter. She resigned her position a year ago, citing ongoing, negative, and deeply troubling behavior from a village trustee. The 4 complaints against Labarge allege that the village's former clerk didn't follow state statute when selecting election inspectors, and that trustee is one of the people that filed a complaint. 3 of the 4 complaints allege Labarge hired election inspectors that weren't approved by the village board, leaving out 2 Republican inspectors and creating an imbalance in party affiliation.
The main distinction is that each party is entitled to its share of the election inspectors.
That's the Election Commission's lawyer, Brandon Hunziker.
I would say that this statute and this process is very, very complicated. We've tried to interpret it so that one party can't freeze the other party out by just not appointing very many people.
The complaint alleges that these inspectors were left out of those hired to serve in the 2024-2025 election cycle.
I think it was an abuse of discretion to essentially not contact 2 individuals who were appointed Republican election inspectors.
A 4th complaint also alleges that Labarge had an individual sign in as an election observer during a public test of election equipment and prevented the individual from filming the test. Labarge alleges the observer was creating a, quote, general disturbance during the test because they wanted to film it.
If this individual was causing a disturbance in the public test, the clerk still could have taken action against that, just could not have applied the observer standards.
The commission found that she violated election procedures under each of the 4 complaints. Another Democrat has thrown his hat into the ring for Wisconsin governor, and it's a familiar name. Savannah Tomei Olson has more.
Mandela Barnes has launched his campaign. In an announcement video, he took aim at federal politics and the economy.
Seems like the harder you work, the more Washington looks the other way. Lower taxes for billionaires, higher prices for working people.
Affordability has been a huge focus for Democrats in this race so far.
The only way for our state to move forward is to reject the Washington way and get things done the Wisconsin way. It isn't about left or right. It's not about who can yell the loudest. It's about whether people can afford to live in the state they call home. A state where you can afford your health care, where your kids can learn a skill and stay close to home, where a good day's work earns a good day's pay.
Barnes served a term as lieutenant governor under Governor Tony Evers. He ran for U.S. Senate in 2022, but lost by over 26,000 votes to incumbent Republican Senator Ron Johnson. Before making this announcement, there was some pushback from liberals who say Barnes lost a statewide race he should have won. The Milwaukee Courier, Wisconsin's oldest black-owned newspaper, published a story in October titled in part, "We Can't Risk Another Mandela Barnes Loss." Barnes joins a crowded field of candidates for governor in the Democratic primary. That includes the current Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, State Rep Francesca Hong, State Senator Kelda Roys, former Economic Development Head Missy Hughes, college student Zachary Roper, and former State Rep Brett Halsey. 3 Republicans have declared to run for governor: Congressman Tom Tiffany, Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman, and medical technician Andy Mansky. As of right now, both parties will have primaries next August. The latest Marquette poll shows most Wisconsinites aren't choosing a candidate just yet.
The Woodson YMCA in Wausau kicked off their Y for All campaign yesterday. The campaign is aimed at making sure the greater Wausau area has access to YMCA programs, regardless of their ability to pay. They're inviting community members to make a donation or spread the word. The money raised will go towards supporting programs that support children and adults through childcare or accessible fitness programs. According to a statement, the Woodson YMCA provided $260,000 in childcare and camp scholarships, and over 2,000 members received a Woodson YMCA scholarship. Donations can be made in person or online at their website. Wausau's River Edge Trail will have some new additions next year. The city's Parks and Recreation Committee on Monday approved a proposal from the Marathon County Historical Society to install temporary historical displays along the trail. The displays are part of a statewide History Makes tour led by the Wisconsin Historical Society. The project's theme is We Fight for What We Believe In and will highlight key moments and figures from the region's past. The project will feature interpretive signs celebrating the country's 250th anniversary. According to the meeting files, the signs will be installed on May 18th or 19th and remain in place for around 6 to 8 weeks. The Village of Weston is working with the Versiti Blood Center of Wisconsin to host a blood drive tomorrow from noon to 5 p.m. at the Weston Municipal Center. All attempting donors will receive an entry for Southwest flight vouchers. Appointments are encouraged, though walk-ins are welcome. It's recommended that donors eat a full meal and drink plenty of water before donating. According to the event details, each pint of blood donated could help as many as 3 people. To make an appointment, visit versiti.org/WI. I'm Isabella Nieto for WXCO News.
Preparing for a big game. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NFL. The Packers and Bears getting ready for a now important face-off Sunday at 3:25 for control of the NFC North. The Bears in first place, having won 5 in a row, but Chicago quarterback Caleb Williams downplaying the hype.
We have no expectation other than to go in, work hard, give our best effort on Sundays, try and come out victorious. Other than that, the outside noise, everybody's expectations, everybody's thoughts, everybody, we could care less.
How much has Caleb Williams improved in his second year? Packers head coach Matt LaFleur.
He's done a great job. He's playing, he's kind of like a magician back there in terms of his escapability.
NBA, the Bucks at home tonight against the first-place Detroit Pistons. Milwaukee coming off that loss to the last-place Wizards. Giannis Antetokounmpo over the weekend, erasing nearly any references to the Bucks or Milwaukee on his social media accounts, including Twitter and Instagram, with Sports on Mike Clemens.
A little light snow this morning, then gradual clearing here this afternoon, and it's going to be cold with temperatures falling from the teens this morning down to around 12 by later this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear. We're going to drop to around 10 below zero. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of only 11. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable.
That's your Wausau News Roundup from WXCO. Find more news anytime at WXCO.FM. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.